Show is brought to you by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than $1 a day. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, and even contracts given to you that you just don't understand, plus a whole lot more. Call Legal Shield right now at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305, or visit them online at nocourt.us.
Oh, boy.
Sal the Bookmaker, how are you today, man? Happy Wednesday.
Everything's great.
All right, beautiful. It's 8 p.m., time for Place Your Bet, the show that basically breaks down the games and helps you place your bet, everybody.
Yes.
Sal's got us going Facebook Live.
We're on Facebook Live because our range is basically the parking lot. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe somebody outside of Sahara and Jones can hear us today. What do you think?
Our range is only the parking lot?
No, it's beyond there.
Okay.
Wise guy.
So what does it go to?
No, it's KSHB 1400 North Las Vegas.
Now you're talking. Yeah. Now you speaking my language. That I like, man. Keep it coming, man.
That's what you're doing, man.
That's okay. So Mr. 17 out of 18, Sal the Bookmaker. Sal, tell us about your bets. Do we have any big winners coming up this weekend? Are they jumping out at you?
I'm not saying a thing.
You
know why? Because I want you to go to placeyourbet.vegas, and I want you to pick up one of the subscriptions there. I'm tired of giving away free winners. You should have been cashing tickets for the last 3 weeks. 3 weeks you should have been cashing tickets. I can't help it if you're not doing it. So you should have enough money. Go ahead and feed the kitty at placeyourbet.vegas. Pick up one of the subscriptions, and then I'll give you more.
Well, we hit 17 out of our first 18 picks. So you're right. I mean, seriously, look at all the money that people should be making. And you saw what I did yesterday. All right, we'll just kind of leave it there. When I left here, what was I going to do? I had to go take care of some things. You ran out of here with a stack of money in your pocket. You were running in circles.
Yeah, right. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, the fact is, folks, all we got to do is what? Tell you to follow the money, because that's what we do. Problem is, you guys don't know how to really do it, because if you did, you wouldn't be listening to us. You'd be at the sportsbook right now placing your bets.
So give us a little background on your name, Sal the Bookmaker. When did you first get that moniker?
Okay, so the real story behind Sal the Bookmaker, it goes back to when I first started on air. It was about 3.5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I was on an ESPN show. Somebody had asked me to be a part of a company. I said, okay, I'll be a part of this company. And it was a former football player, is a quarterback in the NFL for 12 years. Another story for another time. Anyway, I joined the company because he was the lead investor for it. I said, okay, fine, I'll go ahead and do it. Went into the studio in Anaheim. It was in KLAA. That was an Angel Stadium. That's ESPN Radio, AM 830. Yeah, AM 830, KLAA. Anyway, that's one of the ESPN affiliates in Southern California. So I went in there. And, of course, when I go in there, the first thing they do is they start pouring me shots. And I have photos of it, too, just because they liked me from the lunchtime meeting we had. And
pouring you shots?
Pouring me shots.
You were getting drunk on air?
Hey, man, I wasn't getting drunk. It takes more than 2 shots, damn it. Anyway, but the idea was they started pouring me some shots. They liked it. They said, okay, his name is Sal. He's from Chicago. His family's from Sicily. He lives in Vegas. He's got to be a bookie. Right? And so the names, they said, we're going to call you Sal the Bookmaker. And so that name stuck with me from the old show. And so I had that show. I've had that name, that nickname now just on air for, we'll call it almost 4 years now.
Okay. So I thought you picked it up when you were 10 or 11 years old.
No, I was already booking bets. I was already doing stuff when I
grew up in it.
When I was 12 years old. Exactly. I grew up on the west side of Chicago, right in the middle of the mayhem.
I grew up in it as well. I grew up in upstate New York, and I grew up in a bookie family. My father and his 2 brothers, my Uncle Hippo and my Uncle Max, they were the neighborhood bookies.
Wait, you had an Uncle Hippo?
Uncle Hippo, yes.
Right, I had an Uncle Bowie.
Okay.
No kidding.
Bowie?
Yeah, Bowie, because he was built like a buoy. He was built like a Weeble. Remember Weebles wobble, they don't fall down? But Uncle Bowie was kind of like your Uncle Hippo.
Uncle Hippo was a great guy. Uncle Hippo, I remember when I was 14 years old, Uncle Hippo had a heart attack. Right? So we had to go visit him in the hospital, and the family was devastated. Right? They couldn't believe, how could Hippo have a heart attack? And I was the only one. I was like, his name's Hippo. Like, what did you expect?
It's Uncle Hippo! Look at it! It's Uncle Hippo!
My family acted like we called him Uncle Cheetah or Uncle Gazelle or something. We called him Uncle Hippo because he was huge.
I had Uncle Bowie. And Uncle Bowie, you know what he did? Uncle Bowie just drank RC Cola.
That's great.
Remember Royal Crown Cola? That's all he did. Uncle Bowie drank Royal Crown Cola. See if I can spit that out. Royal Crown Cola.
Okay, well, my father and his brothers, the Tellerino, the booking family, they were the worst bookies ever.
I mean, I didn't realize when I was little, but as I got older, I'm like, oh my God, my family, they're the worst bookies. Like, if you
What do you
lost
mean
your
the worst bookies?
Well, listen, if you lost your bets and you didn't pay, instead of my father and uncles breaking your legs, they would just hurt your feelings.
What?
They
What the
didn't
hell
do
is
anything
that?
to you.
Is that what they do in upstate New York?
They didn't do anything to you.
No way. Not in my
Of
neighborhood.
course not. You're from the real.
That's ridiculous.
You're from Oak Park, Chicago.
Well, you know, if
Rome, New York. I mean, come on.
That was the Rome that was built in a day, right?
Yes, the Rome that was built in a day.
Unbelievable. How do you hurt their feelings?
Well,
I mean, in our neighborhood.
you get the point.
And look, the people, okay, so the people at Facebook Live, they could see this here. So what am I doing? I'm holding up what? I've got my hand with my fingers extended, right?
You're missing a finger.
No, now I'm missing a finger. So this is what happens when you don't pay your debt, right? You become a bad debt. You actually get your index finger chopped in half. And so that means any other bookie out there, they're not going to book your bet because why? You've got the lifelong signature that you're a bad
You
debt.
don't pay your, oh my God.
That's right. That's
Well,
how that deserves a round of applause. There's a history lesson for all those people that don't know how it really works.
Discuss. Well, my father,
Look at Darren over there, like
Tommy T.
really?
Sr., Uncle
I had
Hippo,
no idea.
Uncle Max didn't know what they were doing. So listen, let's get into some of the sports action because it is a sports show, even though it's a betting
Hey,
show.
listen, I was telling you about hacksaws and stuff like that. You know that's how, or actually cigar clippers, because you know that's,
Really? With the cigar clipper?
Yeah, cigar clippers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean the you stick the thing, the circle ones?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they're sharp. I mean, it's perfect size for your finger. Right?
Well,
I mean,
you are
that's-
from Chicago.
that's
You're
how it
from,
works.
You're from the real deal. Like I said, I'm from the imposter Italian neighborhood, Rome, New York. So there's a big difference.
And know
So
how
listen,
you know how I say that? Because you know how I know that? Because you say Italian,
Italian, right?
right? You don't say Italian. You don't say Italiano. You say Italian.
Yeah, that's the only way I know how to say it. What do you want me to do? How do you say it?
No. Oh, it's Italiano. What's the
Okay,
matter with
Italiano, I can say that too. Okay, tell me what's going on with Nate Schmidt. How can one player
you? There he is.
change around the fortunes of the Vegas Golden Knights? Last night they annihilated the Blackhawks 8-3. They're 5-1 since Schmidt came off that ridiculous 20-game suspension for PEDs.
Right.
Performance enhancing drugs, which, by the way, he had the weird. Like we've been following sports for years and years. I mean, a lot of guys get caught with performance enhancing drugs, and they have pretty much the same excuse. I don't know how it got into me. I don't use it. But Nate Schmidt's excuse when he got slapped with a 20-game suspension was the team gave it to me. I've never heard that.
Right. So he
excuse
threw the
before.
team under the bus. Unfortunately, that really wasn't cool of him.
Oh my God, no.
But now on the wall we have our Schmidtsicle up there.
We
Right,
love
everybody
Nate
can
Schmidt.
see it. But we love Nate Schmidt because why? Nate Schmidt brings something back to the table for the Golden Knights, what they were missing for the first 20 games, and that was speed out of their own end. Somebody that not only will hit, but they'll carry the mail. They'll carry the puck across both blue lines, across the checkered red, and they'll set up the offense. They're not going to basically dump the puck in and chase it and then try to get possession of it. He allows everybody else to do their job on the ice. And so his speed brings a very different element. You got to remember, the first 20 games that the Vegas Golden Knights were what? They were a counter-punching team because they didn't have their speed guy. They didn't have their experience on the back end.
But
now they got him back.
He's a defenseman, though. I mean,
Right.
so he's not a big guy. He's not an overly.
He doesn't have to be a big guy. It's about speed and it's about playing the puck instead of like Statomatic. Stevie Slapshot said yesterday. It's the same idea. Instead of playing off the boards, this guy was going tape to tape.
Okay.
So that's how he was passing, and he was passing north and south instead of off the boards.
So is that why their new player, Max Pacioretty, I say that right? Pacioretty?
Right.
He scored 8 goals in the last 6 games. So now he's heating up.
Well, look.
Right?
I think part of his success has to do with part of the time that Nate has been back. He's only been back for a handful of games, right?
6 games.
Well, Nate hasn't been back for 6 games yet.
Yeah, they're 5-1, and Nate's.
Wait, it has
yeah,
6
they're
games.
five-
Yeah,
yeah,
6
games.
All right, but the idea is now Max can do his job. But remember, Max came from a team that's not very fast. He came from the Montreal Canadiens, which is a very.
right.
It's kind of like from the blue line
I was
in.
thinking the other guy, Stasny, came from Winnipeg,
No,
right?
yeah, Paul Stastny.
Yeah.
He's a really good player, but he's a slow guy.
Okay.
The Blues got rid of him. He goes to Winnipeg, then goes from Winnipeg to Vegas.
Okay.
But the fact is, speed wins in the NHL.
Okay.
And so Nate Schmidt brings the speed factor, and he allows Pacioretty to play in his offensive zone because Pacioretty was taking a lot of bad penalties in the neutral zone between the two blue lines because he couldn't keep up with the other guys.
clutching and grabbing.
Right,
holding.
right. Exactly. He was causing bad penalties left and right, and he found himself in the penalty box quite a bit. Now with Schmidt back, he's not in the box as much, and he's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's going to score his 30 goals. That's what he's good for.
That's the fact, Jack.
Okay. Yes. Hockey's Sal's sport. I mean, you're the resident hockey expert. I mean, I got to admit, you know more about hockey than anyone I've ever known. And I grew up in a hockey town. I grew up in the East Coast. And I lived in L.A. You know a ton about hockey.
And by the way, your area team where you grew up in Rome, not too far from the greater Buffalo area.
3 hours.
How about those Buffalo Sabres winning 10 in a row?
Yeah.
And 10 in a row, and they're in first place in overall for the President's Trophy in the National Hockey League. Give them a big round of applause for the Buffalo Sabres.
I never liked Buffalo.
Yes.
I hated the Bills. I hated the Braves.
I don't care if you like them or not.
I never liked Buffalo.
It had nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with giving them props for being allegedly the worst team in the league, and they find themselves on the top of the National Hockey League. Give another round of applause.
Oh, come on. I hate Buffalo. I had to keep giving a round of applause.
Yes. And you know what I love about it? Here's what I love about it. They made so many deals with they made big deals with St. Louis Blues, and the Blues are the arch enemy of my hometown, Chicago Blackhawks. Yes. And unfortunately for the Blues, I wish you had the laughing track. You'd have the laughing track.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
The fact is, the St. Louis Blues now are in the basement. What's better than a blue note in the basement? Apparently, the audience likes it.
Yeah, very good.
Yes.
Very good, Sal.
Yes.
Well, one of the reasons why I hated Buffalo, growing up in upstate New York, that's the only vacation we ever took. My dad took us to Buffalo every year, every summer.
So you got to go to the falls.
Yeah, but I saw the falls like 13 years in a row.
Have you gone over the falls in a barrel?
No,
we got to find somebody that's
seen the falls live and in
I
person. Darren, you've seen Niagara Falls live and in person? No. Okay. Darren didn't see the falls.
Open his mic.
Okay, so Darren, did you see the falls?
No.
Okay, thank you. So
you're out of here.
How'd you like to see Niagara Falls 13 years in a row? After a couple of years, you get sick of it. Okay,
wait a minute.
we've seen the falls.
All right, wait a minute. So the only thing that I can see, I get out of my house and I walk down to school. I go across Madison Avenue, or Madison Street in Oak Park. Look, and it's 9 miles directly west of Chicago, downtown. And what do I see? The only thing I can see, and you can see it from 50 miles out, is the Sears Tower. That's it. That was my landmark. I couldn't see anything in the distance. At least you can go to the falls. I had to look at the Sears Tower. That was it.
Listen, I'm not saying it's bad, but after 13 summers in a row, all right.
So you're not appreciating of it?
After a while, it was like, have you ever heard Mickey Mouse, Dad? Like, oh, come on. Like, can we go south to Disney World? Like, just we only went to Niagara Falls every year. It was a 3-hour trip from my hometown. I swear to God, it took us 8 hours every year because my dad got lost every single stinking summer.
And he never asked for directions, right?
No, come on.
That's what they do. Or better yet, that's what they don't. They never ask for directions.
My dad would get lost and yell at my mom for getting lost.
That's funny because my mom would yell at me for her getting lost.
Okay, well, the same thing. It's basically the same thing. My mom never drove.
Right.
She was in the passenger seat. My dad, God damn it, God darn it, Rosie, what the? Like, he was just yell at her.
All right, well, Rosie, right?
Rosie, yes.
All right. And you were in the back seat doing what?
Holding it because I had to go to the bathroom forever.
With your Rosie Palm.
No, Rosie Palm. Boo.
Come on, man. You're killing me here. Boo. This guy. All right. So this guy, everybody who's watching on Facebook Live and everybody who's listening to Tommy T. Tommy, tell everybody about your background. Now, you do stand up. Do it in the last 40 seconds here. Tell everybody what you do.
Yeah, I'm a stand-up comedian. I headline at Sapphire Gentlemen's Club, the world's largest gentlemen's club.
Yes!
And I am the resident headliner there. I'm there about once a month at Sapphire, and
yes!
I've been doing stand-up for 15 years. I landed in Vegas. I had my own show at the Plaza my first year and a half in Vegas. Met my second wife in Vegas, and I've loved Vegas. I've enjoyed the whole thing. It's been a great experience here. And then I met you a few years ago, so we started doing sports radio.
Right. We did a TV show for a short time. Anyway, folks, listen, Tommy, pick up on that when we come back. Folks, we'll be back in just a few minutes here on Place Your Bet. Don't go anywhere.
So you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny? That you have a great personality? And you...
When people get lost, they have to turn down the radio. For directions. Like, what is turning down the radio?
I know, right? How does that work?
We gotta concentrate.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
My dad get lost going around a corner.
I have a sister like that.
Like
my sister gets lost all the time.
Wrong turn. Oh, I gotta turn down the radio so I can drive. So I can find my way back.
Right, you're not turning the car. I mean, what are you doing? You know, blithering idiots.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and always believe in the power of Hulkamania.
Okay.
Weird, huh?
All right. Well, yeah. Whoever put that up there, well, and
We'll find out.
happy Hulkaka to you. Like happy Hanukkah, right? Happy Hulkaka, I guess. All right.
Okay.
Segment
We
1
did
done.
Nate Schmidt.
Nate Schmidt, yeah. We talked about Nate.
Nate
That's
Schmidt,
a
so
lot of good
I-
hockey stuff. It's good hockey stuff.
Good
of course.
hockey.
There
Hockey's
was also
great.
some school that's like giving away hockey pucks to people as a self-defense.
Oh yeah, I saw that. But in my school, we have rocks. There's your self-defense. I was throw a rock at you, right? That's how it works.
I'm mad at college football, so we're going to just abbreviate a college football discussion. I'm mad at them because they're blocking out.
Hey, I need a
Pissed off.
score.
They're
What's
blocking
the
out.
score on the Purdue game there?
They're not showing it right now. It's like they're showing the guy.
I see that.
No score yet.
Yeah, I don't care about that guy. Come on, Purdue. They're shooting. What the heck is this? 6.2. I can't really. Is that 62%?
Oh, Purdue's got to be killing them. They're shooting 60% in the second half.
Well, yeah. Well, they were down. Oh yeah, they're up.
They're
Yes,
up by
71-64 Purdue. Yes, go Boilers. Yes. All right, we're still live. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna change these commercials out because I have the same ones with my voice in them because I keep rotating them. This way, it's not the same voice over and over.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want everybody to get remarkably bored.
So do you announce your comedy show?
Say again?
Do you ever announce your comedy show on the radio before you're going to
Well,
go?
yeah. I mean, I only do it once a month there. I mean, I got a couple corporate gigs this month it's just a company show.
All right, come on, Boilers, get that.
Yeah, they got that game. Don't worry about
You
that.
on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I got some of my stuff on YouTube. I got jokes about going to Buffalo on YouTube.
Look at the size of that guy. Look at that guy right here. Oh, you missed it. This behemoth of a human.
The
He's
white
on Florida
center
State.
for Purdue?
No. I know about him. No, that's Harms right there. No, I'm talking about that guy. Look at that guy.
30 seconds.
That guy's like 12 foot tall. He's like 9'12". He weighs 140 pounds. It's 6'6", 140. What the heck's his name? I don't know. Oh, here's my promo. Listen to this, folks.
And you'll beg for more. Also, you could call in and participate with our chaos if you dare. Join me and celebrity guests for Havoc and Mayhem weekdays at 5 p.m. here on KSHP 1400. Remember, folks, it's a circus, and we prove it every day.
Business Trust Company, helping your company with business strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, and the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. Visit them online at www.abtrustcode.com or call 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. Okay, welcome back to Place Your Bet. Sal, I want to get into the big game on Thursday night. Thursday night football, we got the 10-1 Saints going into Dallas, which I think is going to be their home away from home tomorrow night. To be honest with you, I think that stadium's going to be split 50-50, Saints fans and Cowboys fans. Do the Cowboys have a chance? They're only a 7.5-point underdog, which is a low number, but do they have a chance of beating them? And then the second part of that is, if they don't have a chance of beating them, do they have a chance of covering that 7.5-point spread?
Well, the fact is, these guys, listen, if there is a 7.5-point spread in Dallas, that really means it's a 10.5-point spread on a neutral field.
Right.
So the odds makers have this as a 2-score game. Right, so they're basically saying, all right, touchdown, 2-point conversion, and field goal. That's really what this is about. And let's face it, it's basically a neutral field because you're going to have a lot of Saints fans there anyway. Now, I think I believe that they probably will cover. I'm not going to say for sure because I want you to go to placeyourbet.vegas and go there, and then you're going to get the right answer. But my point is they could cover. But remember, this is one of those games where you could see a low-scoring game. And I suspect you will see a lower scoring game.
The over and under
there.
is 52.
I suspect it'll be
the Cowboys have
under.
an excellent defense.
Yeah, I suspect it's going to be a lower scoring game.
A low scoring game. Now, again, because
meaning under the total.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Just because we're called Place Your Bet, we don't pick a winner on every single game. I mean, the whole point of this is that you look through the games in the weekend, and there are certain games that jump out at you. There's certain games that you're much more sure about. So we don't have to pick a winner every game.
Right. Well, see, this is going to come down to what do the odds makers have and what did it open at? Where is it at right now? Where's it going to close at? And again, this is about watching the money. It's about nothing else. Don't get hung up on all the stats. Don't get hung up in, well, they're playing in this field and that field. I don't give a damn about that stuff. Find out what the numbers are and then make your decision, because that's what you need to be doing. If you're not watching the money, basically, if you don't know how to watch money, that's why you need to subscribe to PlaceYourBet.Vegas. But the fact is, if you're not watching the money, you're making a mistake. Yeah. All the sports book managers and management, they all tell you the very same thing. Watch the money.
So, in other words, it doesn't make any difference that DeMarcus Lawrence is saying that we're going to choke out their offense, right? I got all kinds of stats here.
But nobody cares about that.
I agree.
Well, the retail bettors know about that stuff. They care about that. But those are the same morons that are sitting around watching a game that they bet on, which you're never supposed to watch a game that you bet on. You want to talk about putting yourself into the ground even faster than whatever your schedule is? Go have a heart attack, watch the game, and watch the last couple of minutes of the game, and then you're going to find out who's having the heart attack, who's in the hospital. I don't care if you have a winning ticket. The fact is, because you have so much on the line, whether you're 50, 100, a couple dimes, it doesn't matter. You're putting money ahead of your health. Don't do it. Don't watch the games.
A lot of people put money on the games just to watch them. A lot of people can't.
It's better to watch the game if you have no money on it.
Yes, of
right?
course.
And exactly. And if you have no money on it, fine, watch the game. If you got money on it, go play pinball or something.
Okay, because what's going to happen in this game is the line's 7.5. So there's a good chance that the Saints are going to be winning by 17 or 18, or I should say 14 or 15 in the game. The Cowboys might be driving for a late touchdown that has nothing to do with the
garbage time touchdown.
The garbage time touchdown. So if you got money on this game, the last 30 seconds of the game, you're going to be dying, even though the game's over.
Right.
Right? I mean, the last touchdown doesn't matter. So that's the problem with betting these games.
Right. That is exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens.
The Cowboys haven't beaten anyone good this year. They played 4 teams with winning records, and they lost to all 4 of them. Carolina, Seattle, Houston, and Washington.
How many were at home?
Well, they lost to Carolina, Seattle, and Houston they lost all of them on the road. They're 4 road losses.
All right.
3 of the teams are 6-5, and Houston won in a row, but we know they're not a great team. They lost 4 of those games, and then they lost 1 game at home to Tennessee. So the Cowboys are not a good home team, although this year they're a better home team than they have been in years past.
Well, they're actually, in my opinion, they're a better club this year than they were last year, because I think they're more foundationally sound. Defensively, they're sound. I think offensively, they've kind of found a groove without having, a great receiver. There's no Dez Bryant in there. Now they have Amari Cooper, of course. But the fact is, they were playing well enough, even without Amari Cooper, to compete. But I think they are more conservative, and this actually allows Dak Prescott to be a quarterback and be the guy that really runs everything, instead of saying you got a guy like Dez Bryant out there that's going to run his mouth instead of the field.
I want the ball. I want the ball.
Right.
So you're forcing 15 passes a game.
Right.
Into Dez.
That's exactly my point.
Okay.
So that's what makes the Dallas Cowboys a more stable team, and that's why defensively they're scoring very few points on them, because the Dallas offense is staying on the field.
Yes. I forgot about it, but Dez was on the Saints for a couple minutes. Right? I totally forgot about it. That was one of the things that I wanted to see. I wanted the Saints to bring Dez Bryant back into AT&T Stadium and see if they use him for a couple touchdowns. They may not use Dez the whole game until they get in the red zone, and that's where they bring him out, because he does have that size. He does go up and get rebound touchdowns.
Right, but just remember, I said a lower scoring game because Dallas is moving the ball on the ground and in the air, and they're taking a lot of time off the clock. And now, who was really good at that last year was the Redskins. The Redskins led the world in time of possession, and a lot of teams did not score a bunch of points on them because there just wasn't enough time on the clock. And that's why I think this is going to be a lower scoring game.
Okay.
And look for New Orleans to run the ball with that 2-headed monster. They're going to have quite a bit of running. In fact, I even sat Drew Brees because I had Brees and Rodgers as my quarterbacks. I sat Brees for tomorrow's game, and I've got Rodgers starting on Sunday.
That's a big move. That says a lot. That you're saying that Drew Brees isn't going to put up those astronomical numbers.
No,
tomorrow.
I think it's going to be a running game, a steady diet of student body right.
Speaking of running, I want to switch gears to my second favorite team, the Steelers. I got I don't normally wear gear.
Oh, this guy.
Right? I don't normally wear gear.
Do you know what the Steelers logo actually is? Did you ever look that up?
No, I didn't look
I told you to look it up, for Christ's sakes. It goes back to the steel workers. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with this guy?
Are you going to tell me to look it up, or are you going to kick me in the head?
No, I'll do both. I'll see you outside the parking lot.
Okay, I got a Steelers shirt on. That's the first time.
Why
I
do
never
you have
wear
a Steelers shirt?
I like the Steelers. They're one of the teams I grew up with. Okay, what can I say? All right, but listen, I want to talk about Ben Roethlisberger's weekly radio show.
Okay.
This guy has a weekly radio show like Jerry Jones in Dallas.
He should play for Jerry Jones.
Well, I mean, this guy
maybe it's his nephew that nobody knows about.
He talks about his teammates more than anybody I've ever seen. Now he's running down Antonio Brown. He threw a terrible interception to end the Denver
I saw that.
game.
That was humorous.
Right? I mean, he threw it to Shelby Harris, a 300-pound defensive tackle. And now Big Ben, I call him Big Mouth Ben, is blaming Antonio Brown. He said that Antonio Brown's route needed to be flatter, meaning that he was running at an angle across. He wanted to run straight across the end. He said that's why he threw the interception.
Where are you going with this?
I'm just talking about Big Ben. I just think that this Steelers team has a difficult time. The last few years, they're super talented, but this kind of stuff that Big Mouth Ben pulls hurts the team.
So are they good enough to beat the Chargers, the Superchargers?
Well, you hate the Chargers, so we'll go.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you hate the quarterback.
Oh, I can't stand him, but I'm a huge fan
Hall
of the
of
Lightning
Famer.
Bolt. Hall of Famer, my ass.
He's not going to make the Hall of Fame.
He shouldn't.
Well, he's got a very good
If
chance.
you don't even get to a Super Bowl, you don't belong in the Hall of Fame. You don't have to win it, but you at least got to get there. This guy's got 4,000 losses in the playoffs.
He's got an outside
terrible.
chance.
He's terrible.
But he has an outside chance of making the Super Bowl this year. No, they have no chance this year. They have a very good team. They have a very good team.
It would be. I would love to see it. I'll tell you why. I'd love to see him play the Saints because, well, guess what happened? Drew Brees, with the whole thing with the Chargers. I'd love to see it.
That'd be great. Yep. Drew Brees got injured. He hurt his shoulder so bad he couldn't bring his arm down.
Right.
He broke his shoulder. Everyone thought he was done.
No, I know. I remember it.
Yeah, everyone thought he was done.
Yeah.
You went to school with Drew Brees. I mean, you're a Purdue Boilermaker, right?
Yes. Exactly.
So you went to school with Drew Brees.
Yeah, I was a senior when he was a freshman.
And you of course you like Drew Brees. I mean, he's like, he's a Boilermaker.
But what I like about him is that he's a big money quarterback.
Great.
And this guy in his career, all the way from high school, all the way through the Super Bowl, this guy has brought teams back from the depths of hell, from losing a game. You're like, how the hell did he do that? And it goes all the way back to his first big performance was in the Alamo Bowl against Kansas State. This was, I think, 1997, if I'm not mistaken. But they were down late in the game,
98.
2 times late in the game.
Yeah.
And within 1 minute, he drove them all the way downfield. This guy had icicles in his veins then, and he still does today. Brees is the best quarterback we've seen in decades.
Yes, I'll give you that. And Rivers doesn't. I'll agree with you. Rivers doesn't do that.
No, he's crimey of Phillip Rivers.
Well, he's not as bad as you say, but he doesn't have those great comebacks. He doesn't have those big wins in the last 2 minutes.
Faster. This guy's terrible.
Well, I don't know where you're coming up with that. I mean, he's not a baby.
Don't worry about it.
He's not a baby.
He's a crybaby. He wrecks everything for his team.
They just got Joey Bosa back.
Yeah, I know
Joey Bosa's an excellent defensive lineman.
I love the Chargers. I just can't stand Phillip Rivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you asked the question when I started talking about Big Mouth Ben. You said, can the
they
Chargers beat the Steelers?
Well, whatever. Can the Steelers beat the Chargers?
They can. The Steelers could beat anybody. That's
Will
my
they
point.
beat them?
Well, I don't know. Right now, I don't know. I have to see who's healthy and who's not. But that's my point by bringing this up. The Steelers have the talent to beat everyone. They got another great wide receiver, Juju Schuster-Smith.
What'd you call me?
who's basically uncoverable, right? Just like Antonio Brown.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I mean, they have a very good team. I just wish that Big Mouth Ben would put the radio show on hold during the season.
Okay, it's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers with his stupid TV commercials. He's all over the place. You know, every time
He's
you see these
talking about his team,
hold the phone. It doesn't matter. Every time you see these clowns on TV and they're doing commercials and this and that, what are they doing? They become a distraction from their team. Why? It's like, oh, look, Aaron's on TV and Aaron's making $100 bazillion from this and Aaron's on this. And everybody's got to look at this guy, and then he gets on the TV during the game and everybody's like, you know what? There's that guy again. Who gives a damn about him? And he's a distraction to his team when he's on TV with all these stupid ass commercials.
Okay, so you don't like the quarterbacks appearing on the commercials during the season?
I don't like players. No, I don't like players. I would rather see retired players or something like that, or players from a different sport, whatever, doing commercials. I don't want to see guys doing commercials in their sport during their games in prime time. To me, it's wrong. The continuity's really off on it.
That's valid.
She got a great ass.
That's what I think of that comment. It's
And
very
you got
valid.
your hair all the way up it.
Exactly.
No, it's a good point. Dak Prescott does the Campbell Soup commercials.
Right, and Dak should not be. And I know
One thing is he doesn't make the money that Aaron Rodgers
who
makes,
gives
so
a
he's
damn
low
about
paid.
that? No, it doesn't matter about that.
Okay.
The fact is, he's on TV. He shouldn't be on TV except for game time.
Tom Brady isn't.
Right.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah,
right.
you're
And there it is.
Yes.
And that's the
And
mark
Drew
of
Brees doesn't. Does Drew Brees do them? He doesn't do a lot of them, right?
very rarely.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
those are marks of champions.
Okay. All right. Well, you got me there. Okay.
Damn right I
agree
do.
with you. I agree with you. Let me ask you, how many coaches are going to get fired on Black Monday? The first Monday after the season ends. Because
Well, let's think.
I have 12 coaches here. I went through it. I have 12 coaches that I think are in trouble.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the easy ones are Dirk Cutter from Tampa Bay, Steve Wilkes from Arizona, even though it's his first year. Marvin Lewis can't survive another year, can he?
I don't think so.
17
No,
years.
I don't think so.
Jason
It's-
Garrett.
Purdue 72, Florida State 71.
Wow, they're
Come
not
on,
quitting.
Boilers, hang in
They're
there.
they're not quitting. Who's a for sure fire after the season? Not that we're asking for someone to get fired, but this is the one topic that
I mean, a lock to be fired? Hell, I thought USC was going to make a change, but let's stick with the pros.
yeah. No, the K Helton or Clay Helton. I keep calling him K
I
because
know,
his
it's Clay.
father's K.
Right, it's Clay.
But Clay Helton kept his job.
I thought for sure
I
he was
told you, a
gone.
good guy though. A good guy. The players love him. The administration likes him. The boosters like him.
Well, somebody
they want
likes
him to
him.
do well.
Yeah. Well, it's not really that they want him to do well. They want stability for the system. But
Yeah.
let's stay on topic here.
Yeah.
All right. In the NFL, who's going to get canned? Well, I think you're going to see a coaching change down in Jacksonville. There's no question.
Doug Marrone.
I think Jacksonville's going to make a change.
Okay.
There's way too much talent in Jacksonville for those guys to be on an 8-game losing streak in the middle of the season. I'm sorry.
Well, Blake Bortles isn't talented though. They don't have any talented wide receivers.
Okay, but you can't blame the coach for that, can you? Or can you?
I don't know. I don't think
How
you can.
much? Okay, so how much influence does he have
Well, his
in
explanation,
player personnel?
His explanation to Tom Coughlin should be, "You're going to fire me. You gave me Blake Bortles again. You're going to fire me."
Okay, but remember, all right, and I got that, but the bigger problem lies with the fact that he can't keep his players under control. You got Fournette throwing punches at people. He's not even on the
That's a
field.
bad
What's the
look.
matter with these people?
that's a
This
bad
guy's
look.
not going to keep his job. There's no way.
Okay.
If I was a betting guy, which I'm sell the bookmaker, damn it, I would say that Jacksonville's going to see a coaching change without question.
Okay. Todd Bowles gone for the Jets. Dirk Cutter gone for Tampa Bay. Marvin Lewis gone for Cincinnati. There's 4 right there, right? Counting Marrone.
I would argue that you might even see if Green Bay falters a couple more games, they lose maybe 2 or 3 out of the next 3 games. Mike McCarthy's gone.
I said that a couple days ago. You said no. You think one more year, but I don't think so. I think he's gone.
I think a lot of it depends on the next 3 games. If he doesn't do well in the month of December, which they typically do well in December, then I think that's going to happen. In fact, it's going to probably be contingent on if he could beat the Bears. Because remember, the Bears and Packers have the same exact situation. If the Bears win 2 games a year, and both games are against Green Bay, they've had a successful season. And if Green Bay only wins 2 games out of the year, it better be against the Bears.
So here's the thing. A couple years ago, they were 4-6, and you predicted that the Packers would
right.
win their last 6 games.
They won out.
And they did. I said, no way. You said they would. Now they're 4-6-1, so they got 5 more games.
Right.
Basically, they have to win. They have to win out again.
Right.
You don't think they have it in them this time?
I don't think they have it in them this time because
Okay.
they're gonna face a tough Bears team, and they have to play Minnesota again. Wait, do they play Minnesota again? No, they don't. They have to play Detroit again, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, and they got a couple other ones sprinkled in there that I don't think they're gonna win. So I think McCarthy could be on his way out. Anyway, folks, we'll be back in just a few minutes here at Place Your Bet. Don't go anywhere. So,
Well, it's the same thing as McCarthy. I think that Garrett needs to win. I think he needs to win the division.
Garrett needs
He
to.
needs to win the division.
Garrett needs to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to win division.
Well, I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs unless they win a division. I think that the.
I don't know about
well,
that.
Yeah, because
no, there's a lot of teams in the middle of the road. They're 6 and 5s and stuff like that.
Carolina and Seattle beat them though. So
I got it, but
they
I
have to go
think
to the
they need
tiebreaker.
to make the playoffs. Look at this.
This is
Florida
for sure.
State
They
would have win.
won. They hit a
Wow.
buzzer beater.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's terrible. God damn it. Anyway, but no, I believe that if Dallas can make the playoffs somehow, Garrett keeps his job. Otherwise,
I
he's
agree.
done. He has to be done. Because Jones said he doesn't want to make a change in the middle of the season.
Jones likes stability too. Jerry Jones gets accused of being a lot of things.
Well, Gruden's going to keep his job no matter what.
I think Gruden. No, which Gruden are we talking about?
I'm talking about John.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Not whether you like him, but I think he's going to keep his job no matter what. Because they signed the I got it. They signed the long-term deal. I know. I got the music. Don't worry about it. No. All right, I got to do this read, everybody, so you can see that. There it is. All right, go Kelly Vegas. All right, yeah, stupid Florida State. I can't stand those guys.
They were up by 7 with 3 minutes to go. I don't think they scored again.
I don't know. I have no idea what happened in the game, but that's all right.
Harms.
Well, it is a bad
college basketball in November.
And that's the whole thing. Yeah, it's college basketball in November.
It changes.
Wait till it gets to February.
20 Bennett bump.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One time I hit the wrong one.
Yeah, I know. And the wheels came off. All right. I can't help it. All right, here it is. All right, here's the music. All right, put it back in. And okay, we're back to play the book making radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Kelly Vegas can help you with everything. 9 again, 949-451-1119, or visit that at kellyvegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com, and tell them Place Your Bet sent you. All right.
Couple curveballs to a baseball player.
Not really sure why you.
Okay.
Not really sure why you run the gong of approval,
because
as
I think
you call
do
it.
a fantastic job reading the copy on the back end. From the
Well, I should be. I wrote that copy.
I know. I think you do it. So I gave you the gong of approval. That's a big thing. Not a lot of people get the gong of approval on our show.
The gong of
It's a very big thing.
Hey, I don't. So
I'm gonna
now,
give
so
you the
what you're
gong of
saying?
approval.
So what you're saying? There's a gong and there's a big thing.
No,
And you practice this at home. What are you talking
just
about
saying
here?
There's a big gong.
A big gong.
You know, at my yoga studio that I can't mention, there's one class. There's a gigantic gong in the class that they never use, but there's one class where they use the gong through the whole class.
And it's called the gong of approval?
I dubbed it the gong of approval.
That's funny. The gong of approval, he says. All right, whatever, moving on. Enough with their gongs and your yoga and your yogis and your yogurt.
I don't know why you hate me bringing it up. It just makes your blood boil when I bring it up.
Because you're the Italian guy that goes to yoga.
So I'm the only Italian guy that does yoga?
No, you're missing the
Italiano.
point. Yeah. It's the Italian guy that goes to yoga. And he does girly impressions of his daughter. And you were doing it yesterday. Remember, do it again. Go ahead.
When she's given me 18 versions of whatever.
Yeah. And how did you do that?
Whatever, like whatever. It's like whatever. But he puts the hand on my face. Whatever, Dad. Oh my God, whatever. It's like it's all I get is whatever from the teenager, man. She kills me. Oh my God. She'll go, oh my God, whatever. Oh my God. Or she won't even say oh my God anymore. She just says OMG. She just gives me.
You're not even worth all of the words.
She talks like she tacks. She's like
hilarious.
OMG, LLYA, whatever.
Well,
love you like a sister.
That's because you allow it. In my family, my mother would have punched me in the face for saying stuff
how many
like
kids,
that.
How many kids do you have? It's so easy to talk about it. You just have a Shih Tzu. It's so easy to talk about kids. When
Hey,
you have
I grew up in a house with 8 kids.
So did I.
There was 8 in the house.
Listen, I grew up with uncles that were
hippos,
African animals.
They were hippos.
I had Uncle Ellie, Uncle Hippo.
Did you ever have the game Hungry Hungry Hippo? Did he ever play it?
I don't think we did.
That would have been great.
Oh, I love Uncle Hip. When I went to the hospital, I didn't even know his real first name.
Uncle.
I didn't even know Uncle Hippo's real first name.
Did
Hip is a.
Did he ever have a broken
telegram?
hip? Did he ever fall and break his hip?
No, he never did.
I'm just saying because you call him Uncle Hip.
He was a big man.
Well, that's why you call him Uncle Hippo, for Christ's sake.
Sweetheart, he's a sweetheart of a guy.
Uncle Bowie was a giant man.
I love that Bowie. So did you ever write BUOY? Did you spell it like a buoy?
BOUY.
That's what I said.
Yeah. This guy. Anyway, yeah, it was Uncle Bowie. I just call him that because
A couple quick notes
he was
here.
a tough guy, though.
A couple quick notes. The Yankees and Mariners are talking about a trade back for Robinson Cano.
I know. What a disaster.
Well, and this is nobody wants the guys. I mean, they're talking about trading Jacoby Ellsbury, the center fielder who's all done,
right?
Who's still got a ton of money on his contract,
right?
To the Mariners, and the Robinson Cano goes back to the Yankees. But Cano's got 5 years, $120 million left on that contract.
Well, it reminds me of the Kemp deal. Remember when? Yeah, it reminds me of that.
That worked out for the Dodgers.
Well, I know, but it's just a salary dump, though. That's all it was. It's nothing more than that.
I was happy for Kemp that he actually came back and he played well and had some big hits for them because he left with his head down, with his tail between his legs. I don't know what happened to Kemp. He was supposed to be a star 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, well, guess what? He had some injuries, and I saw him in rehab.
Shape.
I saw him in rehab when he came to play for who the heck was it? He was playing against the Las Vegas 51s here in town. And I remember seeing him, like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
All right. And he looked good, but he was rehabbing.
It's
so he's a very good player. He just had a couple of down years, had some injuries, and now he's back to the Kemp that everybody knew. And the Dodgers made a good deal by taking him back. And so the salary was actually worth it.
They weren't expecting to play him.
No, nobody expected that. They expected a bag of balls, in the dugouts.
It's funny. In L.A., I used to go to Core Power Yoga, the Core Power Yoga studio.
Of course you did.
And Kemp was in that
Core
class.
Power, you owe us money.
Kemp was in my class a couple times. Like he was.
And my concern meter's on 0.
Well, you were talking
Core
about
Power, you owe us money.
You were talking about Kemp being rehabbing. He was in my rehab. He was a couple times. He was in a rehab.
So
yoga
you were
class.
rehabbing as well?
No, he was rehabbing in the class, or he was just doing yoga.
Okay. All right, man.
A lot of athletes are doing it. A-Rod's in my class out here now.
And that's great, man. That's great. And hallelujah, good for them.
It's good.
But I will tell you this. One of my friends, okay, and here's something that you're going to scratch your head about, because you say there are certain things that you wonder, like, how the hell does he know this? Okay, so one of my friends, her name is Elena, and Elena is a Russian ballet instructor. A lot of athletes, a lot of really big-named athletes, they actually do ballet over yoga because the yoga damages their hips, the hip flexors and whatnot, whereas ballet doesn't do that. And there's a little bit of information for you.
Where did you hear that one?
From the ballerina instructor. I'll see if I can actually get her on the show.
First of all, yes. They've been doing ballet for years. Lynn Swann did ballet back in the 70s. They say that's why he was so graceful, made all those catches. He was the first guy that openly admitted that he did ballet back in the 70s. No, ballet's great for sports, but all the athletes are doing yoga. All the teams incorporate some yoga practices in all of their workouts now. So I don't know what Elena from Russia's talking about, but you go down the list, there's 32 NFL teams that have incorporated yoga.
Just because those teams are not practicing in the same way that she does. Look, the superstar athletes that, to be nameless, that go to her for instruction, they don't have the injuries that those people that are doing yoga do. And if you look at the long-term effects...
yoga injures you?
Right. If you look at the long-term effects of yoga versus Russian-style ballet is very different than what they do here in the United States. That's why they have all the winners and gymnastics and this and that, left, right, and center, because they do things very differently over there. Exactly. So they do things very differently over there versus here, and that's why their athletes are really good when they're not, of course, juicing up, because they're pretty good at it.
Okay, very good. We'll give you the gong of approval with that one. There we go. Okay.
Loyal listener Lisa. No! I'm sorry. I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're out of your mind.
No, you're out of your mind. This whole place is out of order. Go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to talk about college football. Is someone calling you or texting you?
It's a text.
That's your text.
Don't worry. And that ding, I have no idea what that was. Go ahead. That was an update. Go ahead.
It was. I'd like to talk about college football, but I'm still mad at them for putting University of Central Florida 8th in the CFP poll, which they're still behind Michigan. So I don't even want to give props to college football right now. Right. It's ridiculous.
Then, you know what? Then skip right over it.
Skipping right over it. That's why I only have two sentences.
Exactly.
I agree with you, Lisa.
I know. She just texted me saying, "You're wrong."
Yes.
And I said,
100%
no.
wrong.
That's okay.
100% wrong. It's okay.
All right, Fonzie, what do you got next?
Hey, forget about it.
All
right, I got a quote from Jay Gruden, who claims that their new signee, Reuben Sandwich Foster.
Oh, that'd be Sandwich.
Reuben Sandwich Foster. He says that there's a good chance he won't play for us, which my logical question back was, then why did you sign him? because
you know why they signed him? Greed. The greed of I want more. Give me more. I got to have everything. I want every player, every advantage. Give me. That's what it is.
That team has absolutely zero instinct on the pulse of our society. They couldn't wait. I mean, they couldn't wait till the due process completed.
They couldn't even wait for the body to get cooled down.
And it's not like this guy was like Aldon Smith, a great defensive end for San Francisco. This guy was doing nothing. He had a half a sack.
I know.
Which, again, my girl wants to know, how do you get a half a sack?
Well, it's the guy who's had one part taken off. That's all. You got one gonad in there, and there's two in the beanbag, and you only got one left. That's half a sack.
Listen, there's one half a sack athlete that set all kinds of records, though.
Yes.
Who's the one half a sack athlete that set all kinds of records? Lance Armstrong won 7 Tour de France.
Outside of the juicing, you're right.
With one, well, he was missing one, so he had to right to juice. He had to make up for it.
Well, you got one. So you got one nut to take care of business. Boy, that's it.
It's true.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
True. I remember when he was dating Sheryl Crow at the time. When he broke up with her, I thought, gee, that guy's nut. She's kind of hot.
And then there were crickets. Where's the cricket sound? Cricket yourself. This guy, he's bamboozled. He doesn't even know where the cricket sound is. He doesn't want to cricket himself. He's a comedian. That's why. Moving on. Stop looking at that stuff over there. It's just like having the computer in here. You have 400 sheets of paper. Focus on what we're talking about.
We covered everything. We're good. So now we can go to the games.
We didn't cover everything.
Now we can go to our games, which I would love to talk about, the Giants and Eagles.
Okay.
My second favorite team.
Yeah, you were just stuck in the NFC East for whatever reason. Dude, you got to go to the bathroom. Your foot just keeps moving. Are you all right over there?
No, I'm good.
This guy. Anyway, what do we? It's always the NFC East. Why?
Well, it's because it's the big teams. It's the classic teams. Where do you want me to go? Denver? Who do you want to talk about? You're stuck in the the NFC North? Is that what it is? The black and blue division?
Hey, what's wrong with that? But at the end of the day, I don't discriminate. I'm for all divisions except the AFC South.
Why don't you like the AFC South?
Because they stink. There's nobody good in there. Nobody. It's a waste of time.
Houston.
They should ship everybody out of there. Just get them out and move them down to South America.
It's hard to say that
nobody cares.
That an 8-3 team stinks.
Why don't they just move the entire AFC South over to Europe and they can have that division over there? Because nobody gives a damn and they can't win the playoffs.
Houston's 8-3. Indianapolis is on a comeback trail. They're 6-5. They don't stink. Tennessee doesn't stink.
They smell.
They're not that bad. Who's the bad? Jacksonville's the bad team in that division this year.
Nobody cares about that division. They don't win playoff games.
Jacksonville almost made it to the Super Bowl last year.
Never mind that. I'm talking
about
about
Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
General. These guys, nobody has any interest in watching the AFC South. Do you, Darren? No, he doesn't. Nobody does.
They may send Jacksonville to London. They have such
good.
little interest.
Send them packing. And of course, now they want all these morons over there so they can cause trouble over there. Why not? London has a little bit of chaos. Let's add some more. Let's sprinkle in some Jaguar. Why not?
So the AFC South is off limits. The NFC East is a bad division too. I mean, you're right. I mean, I like the Giants are my team growing up, but yeah, it's a bad division and a bad team.
Right.
They have no chance of beating the Eagles.
There's nothing to root for in the NFC East. There just isn't. There's no swag, no sex appeal, no anything. I don't care about the Eagles in there, but there really isn't anything because remember, Philadelphia, in that city, they hate everything. They even booed Santa Claus.
You say that every time you bring up Philadelphia, but yes, they did boo Santa Claus. That's the rumor. They booed Santa Claus.
Oh, it's not the rumor.
Okay.
Oh, no, that is exactly what they did. Everybody remembers it. That was there, and that read about it. Go ahead and read it. Just Google, folks, at home. Everybody at home, Google Philadelphia boo Santa Claus, and you'll find it.
They also booed Michael Irvin when they thought he had a broken neck. So they are ruthless. They're ruthless, but they're not booing Markelle Fultz yet. The guy with the funkiest looking foul shot I've ever seen. I mean,
now, he and Lonzo Ball should go bowling.
They're the two worst shooters. They were drafted 1 and 2.
I know, isn't that ridiculous? That's ridiculous. It's unbelievable.
And both of those teams, they left Jason Tatum there.
I know.
And Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, and the drama goes on. Just bad decision making, bad drafting. And how about this? How about LeBron James completely ignoring Luke Walton when he's trying to instruct the team of what to do. And James just hold the phone. Just hold on. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I talked about this today on the Sports Circus. No, listen to this.
You look for stuff with him.
Oh, no, I didn't. No, this jumped out and slapped me in the face. So here's James out doing his thing and not really paying attention to everybody. You know why? Because he doesn't give a damn. He says, I'm going to run the show, and that's the end of this. And so guess what? Now all those players that are trying to, the young players, they need to develop. Walton needs to develop them. And the leader that's supposed to help develop the players, he's ignoring the coach. How does that feel for the coaching staff, for the management? Of course, Magic Johnson is just going to pat him on the head and say, well, don't worry, LeBron, we got your back and all this other crap. Meanwhile, Magic Johnson is part of the problem, allowing this charade to happen. And Luke Walton is going to get... Wait a minute!
Why are you calling it a charade? There's nothing wrong with the Lakers. I mean...
Wait a minute!
They got an over 500 record for the first time in 6 years.
I don't care! You're not letting me finish.
Well, because it's ridiculous.
Oh, it's not ridiculous.
It's not even a
it's not ridiculous.
Argument.
It's not.
The Lakers are better with LeBron.
Okay.
Much better.
May I finish now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now that you've just spoiled my train of thought. Well, but I got it back. Don't worry about it. There
ridiculous.
He goes. He's right in there again. All right. So the idea is this. They're trying to develop a team. They got one guy in there they paid $168 million for. Who gives a damn? The fact is there is the rest of the team. It's not one against the other 5 that's out there. He's got to have somebody else to play with. And if these young kids that are trying to develop around him and the management wants him to develop except for Magic Johnson, well, guess what? What's happening is LeBron is coaching the team. Period.
He's not coaching
Wait a minute.
the team.
You're interrupting me again.
I'm going to interrupt you.
I'm on a roll.
You don't make any sense.
No, I make all the sense. No, I make all the sense because Magic Johnson
is... How does the guy make it to 8 finals in a row?
Who gives a damn about that? And how many has he lost? And how many has he won?
He's won 3. He's
exactly.
3 and 5.
He's what?
He's 3 and 5.
Isn't he 3 and 6?
Well, how's it 3 and 5 adds up to 8?
Isn't he 3 and 6? I thought he was a 9.
He lost one. I mean, he won. I'm saying he won. He was there 8 times in a row.
Yeah, but he's overall he's 1 out of 3. Michael Jordan went there 6 times, and he won 6 times.
Yes.
He was eating lightning and crapping thunder.
But still, your argument doesn't hold with LeBron.
Oh, no, it absolutely holds.
Every team that he's on is better.
No, it absolutely holds. And
you just don't like him.
No, I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
So then why are we going to listen to you talk about a player you hate?
Wait a minute. It's not that. It's about the system. It's about the system and the team. It's about the system and the team. Magic Johnson is not helping that team by allowing LeBrick to do his thing. It's absolutely wrong. It's an abomination of the Lakers.
And to call him LeBrick is a mistake. He's shooting over 50% from three-point range over his last time. You don't even know what you're talking about.
His foul shots are terrible on top of it.
You just hate the guy.
No, I don't hate him.
Talk about
that
LeBron.
guy.
You hate the guy.
That guy is not good for the team, and that's why everybody over in Cleveland.
Not good for the team?
Okay, look, and we had a conversation. You remember the conversation? You were on the Sports Circus. Remember we had Mike Bibby on the show?
Yes.
Okay, and what did Mike Bibby say about LeBron James? Nobody wants to play with him.
Yeah, I don't.
Nobody.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to believe it, but he's in the middle of that circus. And Mike Bibby knows a hell of a lot more than you know about it because he's in there and he was coaching in there. You weren't. Meanwhile, you were sitting back watching the game.
You're talking about Henry Bibby.
Whatever, that's what I meant. Henry Bibby.
Yeah, you're talking about Henry Bibby.
All right, whatever. Yeah. Henry
Bibby can't get a job.
It doesn't
because
matter.
Nobody likes Henry Bibby.
Look at this guy trying to discount him. But the fact is, this guy speaks from a position of knowledge where you were sitting on your couch eating popcorn watching these guys coach at the same time. So I don't even want to hear it, mister.
Henry Bibby can't get a job. He doesn't have a coaching job. Nobody likes him. He's the biggest malcontent that ever coached. That's why he got fired.
Well, guess what? LeBron James in the last 30 seconds is the biggest passive-aggressive guy out there on the court. Nobody wants to play with this guy, and that's the end of it. Look, even his teammates say the same thing. Anyway, folks, we'll see you next time right here. Yes, it is. We'll see you next time here on Place Your Bet. Go to placeyourbet.vegas. Check us out as well, and pick up one of those subscriptions. For Tommy T, I am Sal the Bookmaker. So long, everyone.
The world-famous radio shopping show, weekdays on 1400